Well, hello. This is Crypto Isaac with another video. I haven't done any video since the previous one I did on technical analysis for altcoins. But today, well, I did a previous video that shows all the buy zones of certain altcoins, and it had a very nice positive review. Lots of people have been asking me to do it again, and here I am. Most of the altcoins are actually at a really nice buying price. So yeah, like I said, a lot of altcoins are at a good buying price, and today's video we're gonna look at the top 8 coins by market capitalization, and I would share with you guys a good buying price for each of them. So let's just go to the charts. First of all, let's talk about Bitcoin, our good friend Bitcoin. So right off the bat, looking at Bitcoin's charts, it's forming a descending triangle, right? This is predominantly a very bearish pattern for technical analysis. If you Google descending triangle, there's a chance that it would go up, right? There's actually a 27% chance of it going up. And it's a bearish pattern because in the history of technical analysis, it shows that 73% drops below. So, in all honesty, it is not looking good for Bitcoin, but there's a lot of fundamentals with in the crypto space about Bitcoin, and lots of positive news, like the recent Tether news that's very bullish. The recent SEC views on securities about Ethereum is also very bullish. So I mean, lots of people are holding on to the next bull run, but let's say if it doesn't if it doesn't have a bull run in the next couple of months or so, it looks like we're gonna go on a prolonged bear market, because essentially we are still in a bear market. If the price is below 200 MA, it is a bearish market. So it doesn't look like Bitcoin is going to doing much. Okay, so let's say, for example, you are a new investor, or you have fresh fiat, you want to invest in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. The first, to be really honest, technical analysis, the chart for Bitcoin is very bearish, and I wouldn't buy much Bitcoin right now. But there's a lot of times in the past whereby I FOMO into any altcoins. There were times where I was glad that I FOMO'd in because it just started moving. But most of the time, FOMOing would kill you. It's just a bad idea to FOMO. And for Bitcoin, is if you want to buy Bitcoin right now, it's honestly a very good price from 19,000. And right now we are sitting right at the $6,700, and to be honest, it is quite a huge discount from the all-time highs. 65% discount. But then, so we need to manage our risk if you want to buy more Bitcoin. And my suggestion is that if you do so buy Bitcoin right now, I suggest do not go all in to Bitcoin. You want to split your buys. You want to search for other good bargain prices to buy Bitcoin. So first, like I said, let's say, for example, you have $10,000 and you want to put into Bitcoin, do not put 100% into Bitcoin or any altcoins. Split it. If you personally ask me, I would 30% would be a good percentage of your capital to put into Bitcoin. So $3,000 worth of Bitcoin is okay to buy now. Save the rest for if Bitcoin were to drop below. So I do see what the chart says. There's a possibility that we would drop all the way to 5,000 before any parabolic trend up. Okay, so 5,000 is another place where you should start accumulating, and there's actually another place where you could buy Bitcoin, which is roughly $3,000. So save your fiat, save your capital, buy it only when there's a huge bargain, when there's a huge drop, when there's panic in the streets, blood everywhere. So 5,000 is one place that is a good place to buy, and the potential for it jump all the way up to the moon. From there is high, and the further down it drops to, let's say, to 3,000, like I said right here, the move would be even bigger. Right, so do not go 100%. If you want to buy Bitcoin, wait for these prices. Well, assuming you guys already have your own investments in Bitcoin or in cryptocurrency, whatever money you put in here will still benefit from any moonshot, right? So right now we're talking about new fresh capital that you want to put into cryptocurrency. And like I said, my advice is gonna be, well, I don't want to call it advice. So I would just say a guide. As much as we don't want to provide financial advice, doing these charts for you guys is essentially financial advice. There's no point hiding from it. But the thing is, it's up to you to make your decision. So for me personally, having been in this industry for I think close to a year already, I always find splitting your entries in all kinds of investment is a great idea. So look out for these prices. 5,000, 3,000 is actually a good price to go in. All right. USDT, BTC is okay. I don't want to look at this. Okay, next one we're going to look at is, of course, Ethereum, the king of all altcoins. All right. So first off, right out of the bat, we draw this line right here, the long-term support trend. It dates all the way back to October 2015. That's a really long support trend. So each time it touches this line, it goes up, right? So it is safe to assume that whenever Ethereum drops to this line, it is a huge bargain. The chance of it bouncing from there is really high. It's done it multiple times, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to count those little bits there, it's more than 10 times, to be honest. So let's say, for example, you don't have any Ethereum and you want to buy more Ethereum. I would honestly wait until it drops way below around this line, and then you make your purchase. And next is you could use the Fibonacci tool and start to buy when it reaches 0.786 level. This is actually my favorite level to start buying more altcoins. 0.618 level is also good, but I prefer to keep my capital as much as I can, never lose money. So I would only look to buy any altcoins if it retraces 78% of the all-time highs of the recent swing high. Okay, so if you use the previous alt cycle, we saw that Ethereum breaks through 0.786 level. This is like back then, this was a massive capitulation price. Everyone was going crazy. What's going on? What's happening to Ethereum? No one actually bothers to look at this because back then Bitcoin was just doing a parabolic move, right? So the previous trend has shown Ethereum breaking down the 0.786 level. And if you do the previous trend as well, look at that. Ethereum will break through the previous trend. Ethereum broke through the 0.786 level and then starts to bounce back up as soon as it touches this line. So it happened back then. It happened back in December. And it is safe to assume, I wouldn't say it's 100% going to happen. It is safe to assume, judging from the previous two cycles, that Ethereum would probably either touch this line or retrace back to the 0.786 level before the next alt run. So right now, Ethereum is just dancing around this area. Will it drop back down? It's really tough to say, but this advice goes to if you don't have any Ethereum just yet. If you already have Ethereum, if you want to hodl it, sure. If you want to, I don't want to recommend selling any of your to panic sell. Essentially, you would just lock in your loss. So I personally bought Ethereum back here somewhere, and I'm still holding it. And wait, I think roughly around here. Yeah, I bought it. Sorry, because the previous video I made a call to buy Ethereum at $400, and it was to me a very low risk investment. So I bought it there and I think I already used the Ethereum to buy other altcoins. So yeah, so like I said again, only if it touches this line, or if it goes to 0.786, the likelihood of it dropping all the way down is actually very real, judging from the previous 2 alt cycles, and there is a chance that it would just go right down and just bounce back up. Okay, so if it goes below this level, do not panic. The previous 2 cycles has shown that it has happened before, and it is safe to assume that it would happen again. Will it happen again? Will it bounce back up after that? That is not my call to make. It is really up to the general market sentiment back then. So there you go. So let's go to Ethereum. Oh, Bitcoin is dropping. Anyways, let's go to Ethereum USD. So yeah, my previous video I made, I did some analysis, and I said $400 was actually a good place to buy Ethereum. Because it was the previous resistance. Ethereum was doing this ascending triangle, and this should be a very strong support zone, and true enough, it touches this line and it starts to go up, and everyone thought it's going to be the next bull run, but well, it's really hard to say. Well, we know today on hindsight that it looks like it's going to be a bull run, but it's not happening right now. So like I said about the Ethereum BTC, you know, if you're following Ethereum in the USD, if you hadn't bought Ethereum back in April, wait for a while. The better price to go into Ethereum is $400, or if you want to be as precise as you can, $380. That's when Ethereum looks to be heading. That's where Ethereum looks to be going, to be honest. And yeah, if you hadn't bought Ethereum, or if you're waiting to buy Ethereum, you have fiat outside of the market, $400 is a good place to buy some Ethereum to accumulate. Will it drop below 400? We'll never know. But if it does, it's really hard to imagine Ethereum being at $200 or even below $100. It hasn't been below 200. Yeah, it hasn't been below 200 since last year July. So will it drop back down there? I have no idea. The chance is still there. So again, if you say you want to buy Ethereum, I would not recommend to buy 100% of your capital. Split it, 30% at 400, another 30% at maybe 200, and maybe if it drops to, let's say, $50, just scoop up as much as you can, as much as you feel comfortable with, yeah. So never ever invest 100% even in cryptocurrency. If you let's say you told yourself I have $10,000 to invest, do not invest all of the 10,000 into cryptocurrency. As we know, fiat is actually king. Bitcoin is not king anymore. This bear market has taught us that, and I will talk about that maybe in another video. So let's carry on. Let's go to Litecoin. So I was just staring at Litecoin's chart a few hours ago, and I managed to see something really interesting. Well, interesting to me, but maybe not to you guys, but I'll just get into it anyway. So what I saw was back in last year, before the parabolic trend up, we had this parabolic trend up, right? And then you retrace, and then back up again, and retrace, back up again. Yeah, it's zigzagly lines, and then it just went all the way down in December, right? So it looks like this. I'm a huge fan of fractals. I like to see repeating patterns. So what I saw immediately when I did this was the repeating pattern. Up, down, and maybe right now we're gonna see another up, or we could, maybe it has already done the third up, and then it will drop all the way down. Okay, so let's say you want to buy more Litecoin. It is, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's a good price yet to buy Bitcoin. In terms of USD, it is a good price at $100. But let's say you have your capital in Bitcoin. I still see it dropping further down. So using the previous trend, using Fibonacci retracement tool, we saw Litecoin drop all the way to 0.786 level. Like I said, this is my favorite level to buy anything. Of course, you see here it drops below, but immediately bounced back up. I think in like 2 days, it bounced back up. All right, so it is just like, oh, what the hell is this? Just like Ethereum, it is safe to assume that it would happen again, right? So like I said, when I did the analysis for this, 0.786 level is a very good price to buy. That's around roughly 1 million satoshis. And will it drop below that level? Let's say, well, you do this, you bounce here and then may perhaps go here and then drop below it and then parabolic move up. All right, so will it do that again? I'm not sure, to be really, again, I am not so sure whether it happened. I'm just trying to see a good price to buy Litecoin, and in my personal opinion, around this price is actually very good. This price in Satoshi is really very good price to buy. So let's say you want to be a bit more cautious on your buying zones, right? So this one right here, we could start from here. So we ignore this little parabolic drop, and we see here Litecoin would probably drop here, and then we should see whether it starts to go up. In my personal opinion, it's really hard to say, I'm sorry. And then yeah, so anyway, the next price to buy, the good price to buy, the best price in my personal opinion is the 0.786 level, which is 1.1 million satoshis. That is one price, and the other price was 960,000 satoshis. That's another good level to buy. If it drops below that, just hodl it, because the previous cycle has shown us that there should be a huge drop and it's going to happen again. Patterns are really important in cryptocurrencies, so I would follow patterns really closely. And if it doesn't, like I said, you still have your fiat, you still have the most of your capital hiding in the sidelines to buy whenever there's a huge bargain, and let the money that is already in the market get some gains. All right, so Litecoin in USD. So this is all I was looking out for Litecoin. Before that, I actually had my support line right here, and I thought this is going to be a strong support line for Litecoin, but it broke through really easily. So, and then next support zone will be the previous resistance. And this is a much better support zone because there's a huge area of action right here, and then obviously we bounce back up. But again, this is a very bearish pattern. There's a high chance that Litecoin would break. If it breaks, I really don't want to imagine what happens if it breaks. Will Litecoin drop back to $50? I don't know, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, if you want to buy Litecoin with fiat, right now at $96 is actually a huge bargain. It's a huge drop in price from $400 in its all-time highs. And once again, do not go 100% with your Litecoin purchase. Save some of the capital and buy when you see Litecoin at a crazy ass bargain, like let's say for example $50 or $60. That would be a good place to buy your second portion of Litecoin. Okay, let's move to XRP. Well, okay, this was my previous analysis on XRP. I'm just gonna move on from that. Okay, XRP is a very interesting coin. To be honest, when I first started cryptocurrencies, I did not like Ripple because it's working with the banks and stuff. But recently, as many of you guys know, Ripple has been doing a lot of philanthropic kind of thing, making donations and charities and stuff like that, and it really got me thinking, wow, Ripple probably isn't that bad if they are actually helping lots of we are helping with charities and stuff like that. It's maybe I could look into Ripple much deeper, Yeah, Ripple isn't that bad, to be honest. They're just basically helping the banks improve their technology, and essentially, everyone who is in cryptocurrency has this little mentality that we have to bring down the banks, right? But what if Ripple is actually the cure to make banks better? I don't know. It's really up to anyone's philosophy. Yeah, for me personally, I think Ripple it's okay as a company, and I like what they're doing, and to be a part of those donations would feel really good. So I'm actually honestly looking to start my first position in Ripple. I missed out all these great prices to buy Ripple on. So I've been keeping a close eye on Ripple and deciding when I would next buy, when I would first buy Ripple. So first off, right off the bat, again, I would only buy when an altcoin retraces this much. So I would buy Ripple when it touches around 6,000 satoshis. That's when I would consider buying Ripple, opening a large, hopefully a significant portion of Ripple around at 6,000 satoshis. But in all honesty, I would go massively if Ripple ever touches this line, like it's shown here, right? If Ripple were to drop this low, I will buy a shit ton of Ripple. That's just me personally. So that's gonna be roughly around 2,200 satoshis. If it ever goes down to 2,500, I would prepare some capital to invest very bigly on Ripple, because I really like what they're doing right now, and doing deeper research on Ripple, they're actually not that bad. And of course, we are in this cryptocurrency market to make some money, and yeah, I would love to make some money, but being a part of such philanthropic things that they're doing, it's just a really wonderful thing they're doing. So I kind of like Ripple right now. So again, the XRP in USD. Like I said, the first purchase I would see is either it drops all the way to 6,000 satoshis, or in USD value they drop all the way down to 38 cents, 36 cents, yeah, 38. If it drops to 38 cents, I would immediately buy with I would immediately open my first portion in Ripple, and then if it drops further down, I'll just accumulate more. But yeah, so that's all I'm looking at. I'm just waiting for Ripple to go into a price that I want to buy it at. If it doesn't drop to this price, it's okay. I probably would try my best not to FOMO. But yeah, the way I trade, the way I buy my stuff is I would wait for the price to go at a price where I'm comfortable at buying for the long term. So that's just my personal preference. If you want to buy Ripple right now, it's actually it's not at a bad price. Yeah, if you want to, like I said in the previous coins, do not go 100% into your investments. Yeah, so split it up, maybe 30% of your intended investment in Ripple. 30% is right, is a good price to buy. Then maybe another 30% right at 37 cents, and then maybe another 30% if it drops to, say, I don't know, 12 cents or so. All right, so we never know. Next, NEM. NEM is really interesting. I was following NEM before this parabolic trend up. I noticed that I was doing some analysis on NEM, and I found this back then. That it was doing this nice little trend right here. It broke through, but it just immediately bounced back up. So I did a swing trade on NEM. Really, really nice swing trade. All I did was I draw these two lines on NEM. Am I calling it right? NEM, or is it called NEM? I'll just call it NEM for now. So what happened was that I bought NEM right here at 3,400 satoshis actually. I bought it at 3,400 satoshis, and I wanted to do a swing trade. So I saw it bounce from this line right here, because it is a long-term support. So I thought, okay, maybe this could be a good swing trade, and I bought it right over here, somewhere here. Yeah, I think I bought it here. Yeah, somewhere around here. Yeah, I FOMO'd a bit, but yeah, good for me that it went back up. And then I sold it. I sold it right here, around there. And why I sold it is because, nope, sorry. Why I sold NEM was because of this. Yeah, I was doing a analysis on where to sell NEM. I used this. I sold it around 4,000 satoshis for a quick swing trade. I think I did a 20% gains. Very short NEM trade, but it was pretty decent, I guess. Yeah, so the reason why I did that was so you start from the previous all-time highs, and then I went all the way down to the previous lows right here, and I bought it here, and I decided, okay, this is where it would first reach a resistance point. So I sold it at 4,000 satoshis, because I didn't want to hold too many large cap coins. So it was just a quick trade. It was quite awesome, 20%. And so I digress. So a good place to buy NEM was actually back here. You know, when we touch this line again, it's safe to assume that it's gonna be explode back up, but unfortunately it didn't. It cracks below this line, and as you can see, the market tried to go back up. It retests the support, broke the broken support, and then it went back down. So the next place where you want to buy NEM would be this line, because it is where this guy right here, this parabolic drop sorry, this crash right here stopped, and the next bull run hits, right? So if you want to buy NEM, I would wait until it touches this line, roughly around 2,000-ish satoshis, and you are better positioned to hold NEM for the long term. All right, so 2,000 satoshis, yeah, to buy NEM on this line. Okay, so let's go to NEO. So my previous video, I talked about NEO not looking so well. I saw this triple top, and NEO is actually quite overvalued back then, and I did the video back in 14th of March, and I said to buy more NEO if it ever drops to 650,000 satoshis, and unfortunately it didn't drop that low. So I couldn't profit from this uptrend, but it's good that I didn't manage to get more NEO. So because there was lots of bearish signals that were showing, and good enough it drops below. So if you look at my previous video, I did a analysis on NEO, and it shows that 0.786 level was the previous cycle's pattern, breaking below it and then bounce back up. So it's safe to assume the next cycle would probably be the same, and I hope it is the same, because when it drops back down here, it's going to be a great bargain, and then probably it would just go back up to touch this level and then do a parabolic drop down. Parabolic drop, I keep saying that, I'm sorry. A small crash below the 0.786 level and then bounce back up, because it happened with the previous cycle, and we used that to determine our good buy zones right here. So to summarize, if you want to buy NEO, I would suggest to hold off. Do not buy NEO right now. Let it retrace back down to 0.786 level, roughly around 470,000 satoshis is where you should buy your first batch of NEO if you haven't already. And the next one is the magic number 85, and I always try to buy, if let's say this amount drops, if the price drops below 0.786, the next level you should see is the 85% retracement. So let's say, for example, this one retraces all the way down here, right? Look, it retraces all the way down to 86%. So 85% is a great retracement price to buy from the previous all-time highs. So NEO if you see Neo drop all the way to, oh, it's really scary to imagine Neo dropping all the way down to 227,000 satoshis, right? It's really hard to imagine, but it could be. So that's where I would put my next batch of that's where I would accumulate more Neo if it ever drops that price. But again, firstly, if you want to buy more Neo, buy it when it is at 470,000 satoshis. Yeah, let's look at Neo in terms of USD value, and like Neo looks actually pretty decent right now. It is sitting on a pretty, well, Neo was super volatile back then, so there's no telling where's the bottom of this drop. Neo at $37 is actually a very good price to buy in terms of fiat. If you have fiat, keep that you've been saving fiat, Neo is actually a pretty decent price right now to buy. All right, and the next place where I would buy Neo is, to be honest, actually drop below this. So if you want to keep Neo for long term, Neo at $40 is actually quite a bargain. The last of my Neo that I bought back here was actually roughly $30. I bought my last batch of Neo back in August, I think. Yeah, roughly here. Yeah, August is where I bought my last bit of Neo. I FOMO'd, obviously. I was still pretty new with the game. I bought it at $30. I FOMO'd into this green, and I thought it was the best decision ever, and then it cracks down. Neo being at $30 again after almost a year is actually almost unthinkable back then, but it is almost there right now. It's a good price to buy, in my honest opinion. So yeah, keep an eye out for Neo in BTC. If it ever drops to this price, it's a good price to buy. And if it ever drops to $30, it's also a good price to buy. Yeah. So let's look on EOS. EOS was my most profitable trade in the last 2 months, and I honestly I didn't think I would catch the bottom, but I really bought the bottom right here, and it was incredible. Why I bought there is because of this. Like I said, these two levels are the best prices to buy for altcoins. So I bought a bit of EOS right here, and immediately went up. So I was pretty happy that I managed to catch this train. I've only bought like 40% of what I intend to buy with back here. So I had another 60% right here that didn't get the price didn't hit. So all I had was 40% of my intended purchase for EOS. So it's great too. I did a swing trade. I sold it here, this level and this level, and I kept the rest, and I sold it roughly 200,000 satoshis right here at the top. So it was really a lucky trade. I don't want to attribute it to skill or anything, but yeah, I sold most of my position. I think 60% of my position in these two levels already. What the hell is this? I'm sorry about that. So I kept 40% of the remaining, and I sold all of them at 200,000 satoshis. So it was a perfect trade. It was an awesome trade, and it was my most profitable trade in the supposed bear market the last few months. So if you want to buy more EOS, all right, so do a Fibonacci retracement. And once again, the two levels that you should look at are these two levels. And depending on the current, the market sentiment, when it reaches this point, look up for news on EOS. How are they doing? What's the general market sentiment back at that time, and make your purchase accordingly. So these two levels is the levels that I would wait for if you want to buy more EOS. If it reaches down to 0.786, that's a huge bargain. It's a good price to buy. So yeah, that's EOS for now. EOS in USD is pretty straightforward as well. So like I said, do this. It was just back then in in March it was just dying to be bought, EOS. So this is how I do it. I look at the Bitcoin value and then I will tally it with the USD value, and back in March it was a clearly no-brainer to buy. Of course I got lucky that it did a massive bull run, right? So yeah, it was a great trade. So if you want to buy more EOS, I would do a retracement right here. And in terms of USD value, and if you realized back then EOS bounced at a 0.786 level, right? So again, what's happening? So again, I would probably need to record again, so give me a moment. I would just cut this video and I would match it with the other video. Okay, so this is another video. As you can see, my startup disk was full and I had to re-record again, but yeah, it's okay. So anyway, like I was saying, EOS, if you see EOS at $8, it's a good price to buy EOS. They had some issues with their mainnet launch and stuff like that. Give them time. I think they are a really good project. A little overvalued in my opinion. So personally, I've done a really nice swing trade on EOS. I would not look at EOS for the near future, and I would only attempt to look at EOS if it goes down to $8, and then I would see how the market looks like when it reaches that price. Okay, so we're gonna look at our last two altcoins for this video. XLM, Stellar Lumens. So first off, the Stellar Lumens in Bitcoin value. So first off is the Fibonacci retracement tool, of course. And my previous video, I put a call where I said 2,600 was a good price to buy some Stellar Lumens. I did buy some Stellar Lumens. I didn't sell it though. I'm still holding on. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't buy Stellar Lumens. I bought Cardano. Yeah, the prices are around the same. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not buy Stellar Lumens. I bought Cardano. So yeah, just to clear that up. So anyway, if you want to buy more Stellar Lumens is a great long-term project. It's on the same arena as Ripple. So if you want to diversify in that sort of sector, the financial service sector, it's good to diversify between Ripple and Stellar Lumens. They have fundamental differences, but I just put them together as one anyway. So a good place to buy Stellar Lumens is actually when it like I said, my favorite prices is when it retraces back to this zone and this zone. So could it drop back down these two prices? I'm not too sure, but I would only, in my personal opinion, if I want to invest in Stellar Lumens for the long term, I would only open my position back here when it reaches these two prices. Yeah, I really love my capital, and it's always a good thing to keep in mind. Do not lose money, and I will only buy when there's blood on the streets. And the chart hasn't shown that much blood yet. All this parabolic move, parabolic upward explosion has not been properly retraced for me to even consider buying Stellar Lumens. So back then, right, if you got Stellar Lumens back here, it's still okay. You could hodl them. Maybe you could just grab some profits if you want, but I would hodl, and if it breaks through, it's okay. If you have capital to throw into Stellar Lumens, do so when it reaches 1,600 satoshis, right? And yeah, it looks like it's gonna drop much further than that. This is just my personal opinion. Like I said, I would not personally, I would not throw my money into Stellar Lumens just yet, only if it reaches these 2 points. Yep. But in USD value, it's really interesting as well. Like I said, this price was actually a pretty decent price to buy, but personally I would wait for Stellar Lumens to drop maybe around 7 cents. Okay, then I would prefer to I would look at Stellar Lumens instead, and probably think this is a good bargain to buy Stellar Lumens. So I'm personally, I mean, no offense to those who are already holding Stellar Lumens, but I personally see, I mean, in terms of charts, and of course charts isn't crystal ball, it's not a prediction, it's not a surefire thing to say that it's gonna happen. But yeah, I would only buy Stellar Lumens when it drops another 68%. That's just my personal opinion. I like the project. I like what he has become. I was following Stellar Lumens back when it was around this price, and then it just exploded 70 times, 7,000% profits. If I had gotten that back there, I didn't. So not that I have anything against it, it's just I missed this train, and it's just hard to look at it again because I was really staring at Stellar Lumens. I was just staring at it back then in July. It's like, should I buy this? And then it started to go back up. So there's a bit of ego thing going on, but honestly, Stellar Lumens is a good project. I would personally consider to buy if it drops below these two prices. Okay, the last coin of the day is getting really tiring to talk. I would continue doing the I would just get to it later. So Cardano is an awesome project to hold long term, but it's not so awesome if you had bought the top, right? It is pretty clear that this was huge FOMO. There was long green sticks every single day for roughly a month. Long green sticks. And right now, of course, hindsight, we know that if you have this kind of parabolic trend, you need to retrace. Okay? And look at where it retraced. It retraced somewhere around this price. So like I said, this is my favorite price to start buying any coins. I personally bought, like I said, I misspoke when I was talking about Stellar Lumens. I bought some Cardano at 2,200 Satoshis. The prices were kind of the same, so forgive me if I mix them up. But yeah, I did buy some Cardano. I didn't buy it anywhere here. Of course, it was a bad mistake, but I didn't want to chase the greens. So I finally bought some Cardano when it reaches 2,200, and I actually sold some at 3,400 right here, top here. Because I saw there was a hidden bear. There was a bearish divergence back then. Oh shit. Yeah, there was a bearish divergence back then, and I didn't like what was happening, so I sold it at 3,400. When it reaches back there again, I sold it right here. I sold some, but I didn't sell all because it was a really good price to buy here, and I'm holding those coins until the end of time because I really wanted the Cardano in my portfolio, but I just missed this parabolic run. And so if you want to buy more Cardano, 2,200 is a good place to start a position. But honestly speaking, I would wait. The magic number 85%. I would honestly wait until it reaches 85% retracement, which is roughly 1,400 Satoshis. And incidentally, it's the price where we had this. Incidentally, we have the price where there is a few action going on here. The previous resistance, it cracks down, then he reaches this price again. It failed to crack, but eventually just did. So this is a high action area, high place to assume where Cardano will start moaning again. So like I said, 2,200 and 1,400 Satoshis is a good place to buy Cardano. And then we compare it with USD. Like I said, for Cardano, 2,200, it's roughly another 6% drop from here. In USD, this is the bottom, right? This is the bottom, and this is also another high action area. So from here to there, it's around 13%. So I would only buy Cardano if it drops to like previously the 6% that I say here. Just remember this price. Oh, okay, I keep forgetting the price. Okay, roughly 6.5% drop from today, right? So if you want to buy a first Cardano, you could purchase more Cardano when it reaches, well, actually, to be honest with you guys, right now is a good place to buy some Cardano. Again, I reiterate, do not go 100% with your investment. Go small and then wait to buy more, right? If it does drop more. But let's say Cardano drops to 13,000. If you don't want to buy it now, it's fine. You could wait until it drops perhaps below 14 cents, and it's a better price to buy, but it's only 10% drop. And as they say, if you can't handle a cryptocurrency dropping 10%, you do not deserve to hold it when it moons 1,000%. Well, that's just a saying. But yeah, so that's the first bit of this video. I actually plan on doing more altcoins, but it gets really tiring to do more than 8, I find. So I would take another day or two to record the other video. I've already prepared all the charts. You know, I want to do TRX, I want to do Binance, ETC, Ethereum Classic, VeChain, Ontology, OMG, Quantum, Icon as well. I really want to do those coins, but yeah, it is quite tiring to do one whole shot. So I'll catch you guys. I hope to see you guys in the next video, and thank you so much for listening to me ramble about things. And again, I want to say this isn't a financial advice, but essentially I'm telling you all the good prices to buy, what in my opinion are good prices to buy cryptocurrencies. And my first and foremost mission is to always protect my capital. That's why I am a strong advocate to splitting your buys and also splitting your sells. Alright guys, this is it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.